Oh my god, we're like a meta demon. I just realized that we're literally straight up like an old school meta demon. Wait, that's sick, bro. What? Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning to another Supatease video. And in this one, we are going to be covering the Affliction Warlock, everything that is going on with this specialization moving into the next expansion, the War Within, because they are taking some serious risks with some of the class design with this specialization. Some people are up in arms with it and about it. I had some personal criticisms towards it, so I really wanted to give it a try before really nailing in those negative opinions. Now, for Affliction Warlock, they've completely changed your talent tree on both sides and introduced a lot of really powerful new components. One of the first ones is demonic hellstones. So demonic hellstones are going to be hellstones that you can use multiple times in combat. There are talents to reduce the cast time of your hellstone, and this is basically going to be a 1 minute cooldown 25% heal. So you're going to be getting an extra basically in combat heal that's going to make you even more durable. Now, to be fair, in PvE, I don't really know why you'd really need this. I feel like Affliction Warlock's already probably one of the most powerful in terms of self-sustain in PvE, but in PvP, you will likely notice this a lot to a great benefit. There are also rearrange your entire talent tree on the right side, bringing Oblivion from a PvP talent into a baseline talent, and they've put a heavy amount of focus on Shadow Bolt, which, you know, a lot of people were like, oh my god, Shadow Bolt, like what is that really going to do? That doesn't seem that exciting. So I deliberately made this build here to focus around Nightfall, which is proccing instant cast Shadow Bolts and a bunch of modifiers that are going to increase the damage of our Shadow Bolt in order to see like what it could accomplish. And then I quickly realized maybe why they were doing that is with this talent, the Cunning Cruelty, which is a throwback to Cunning of the Cruel from Cataclysm, which is Shadow Bolt and Drain Soul have a chance to trigger a Shadow Bolt volley, dealing shadow damage to all enemies within 10 yards, which was a really cool, fun, and powerful effect for Warlocks, but other classes could wear the trinket as well from Cataclysm. So I'm really thinking that they're trying to focus down on that. They've also made Malefic Rapture a baseline ability, and it does feel really powerful, particularly with the Soul Harvester talent tree. So I'll just give you a quick little sneak peek of what it looks like rotationally and what to expect, so you can get your dots onto multiple targets. You can see that I've already got an instant Shadow Bolt proc. Oblivion is a really powerful channel. We've got, I'm playing Haunt right now to really get some throwback, to get some extra dots, but that Shadow Bolt proc plus the Malefic Raptures of the Soul Harvester are going to summon this little Demon Lord behind you every time you get a proc, and that extra Demon Lord is basically going to do even more juiced up damage on your Malefic Rapture and just going to do a crushing amount of AoE. But you're also going to have really powerful single target because the Shadow Bolts you're lobbing through, they can crit for 100,000 damage. So these Malefic Rapture spams plus the Shadow Bolt procs are going to feel really juicy overall in terms of buffing your damage. It does feel pretty satisfying. I wouldn't say that it's like massively rotationally different, but I do like the visual on the Malefic Rapture with the demon popping up behind you. The Shadow Bolt procs do feel pretty powerful. They feel similar to like a Lava Burst proc for an Elemental Shaman, and then having Oblivion as an optional talent in terms of single target power is actually really nice. Another component with the Soul Harvester is that you're going to be able to use Burning Rush without taking damage. So it does make Burning Rush a lot more appealing. We can go zoom, 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 zoom really fast around the map just outside of our Soulburn port window, which is going to give us more extra mobility. It's going to be super helpful, you know, in boss fights as well. If your port's not in a great spot to be able to escape, there's that Shadow Bolt volley proc. It's going to give you another escape mechanism. There's kind of a bit of an arms race in this expansion with melee DPS getting more and more mobility when it comes to PvP, but that's definitely going to be really powerful, I think, in PvE. You're going to be really good in all environments. They basically cut your talent tree down into two sides where you can focus on Dark Glare, Soul Rot for AoE, and Seed of Corruption as well, with Malefic Rapture just farming the damage meters in terms of overall in all content. And basically with this, we kind of just showed you it, but for the Soul Harvester, you're just getting demonic entities to inhabit you when you use souls, which is just going to proc extra damage on your Malefic Rapture. You can see the extra Shadow Bolt damage from this talent tree, which is why I was running the Soul Harvester with this Nightfall build. And we are seeing actually in Dragonflight Season 4 more focus on this instant casting proccing Shadow Bolt build, at least for PvP. You're getting more shields, more heals with this build, and more just procced damage basically on top of everything else. So it is my hope that it's going to be a little bit more competitively viable with this. They took some risks. I still am not really a fan of the Malefic Rapture. It does feel nice with the Soul Harvester, but I'd really like to go back to like Soulburn Haunt days. The Shadow Bolt proc actually does feel really good. You can see it just proccing right now while we're going through this. Big little 70k hit right there. This build feels really fun. I do like this build though. If this is the way that it's going to be going with Malefic Rapture becoming baseline and they're incorporating it, I think that this build is likely going to be really fun. Hopefully it's going to be competitive. Kind of getting bored of playing the same Soul Rot sort of AoE build. I'd really like to incorporate Haunt preferably, but the Shadowbolt procs and the Shadowbolt actually feel good, which was surprising because a lot of people, even including myself, I did not actually think that it was going to feel good. But the Shadowbolt changes actually do feel good. Now Hellcaller is going to be Wither, which is going to replace Corruption. We're going to be getting Zalan's Ferocity. This is going to be shadow damage increased by 2%, fire damage increased by 2. Blackened Soul, spending Soul Shard further corrupts enemies affected by your Wither, increasing its stack count. So just a really super juiced up Corruption. Fire critical strike chance increased by 10 and Shadow critical strike chance increased by 10. You can see this also has some benefits towards a possible Shadowbolt build. Curse of Weakness is empowered, transforms into Curse of the Satyr, which Curse of the Satyr is basically going to just be Curse of Tongues and Weakness mixed into one curse to reduce your number of keybinds. So that's going to be nice for overall keybind bloat. While Unending Resolve is active, enemies within 30 yards are affected by your Curse of Tongues and Curse of Weakness at 100%. Could be good against AoE melee, but your Unending Resolve is such a long cooldown that I'm thinking you're probably going to opt to do this. And then in PvE, you're never really supposed to be close enough that this would really do too much. Wither deals just 50% more damage, but it's a shorter duration, or Wither damage increased by 20, and when you gain a stack from it, is a chance to gain one more. So if you want to go for like a long duration fight or for more bursty, depending on if you're doing like trash or boss, or if you're looking for quick kills. Zerum's Resilience, Dark Pact is going to heal you for 1,000 every second while active, so more healing. Sacrifice 10% of your maximum health. Soul Leech now absorbs up to 15% of your maximum health. Now, based on maximum health, I'm thinking that's probably going to be really powerful. Agony damage increased by 20%. The cooldown of Vile Taint reduced. Seeds of Their Demise. Blackened Soul damage increased by 30%. And casting Wither directly or refreshing Wither with less than 4 seconds remaining causes Wither to gain 3 stacks. Dark Mark of Piratharn. Agony deals damage 40% faster, and Blackened Souls deal 2% increased damage per stack of Wither. Malevolence, a 1-minute cooldown. Dark magic erupts from you and corrupts your soul for 20 seconds, causes enemies to suffer from your Wither to take 43,000 Shadow Flame damage and increase its stack count by 3. While corrupted, your active Withers are acute, and your haste is increased by 15%. Malefic Rapture grants 1 additional stack of Wither to targets affected by your unstable affliction. My concerns with this is Malevolence sounds very close to what Dark Soul used to sound like. And they ended up removing that because they wanted the class to do more damage outside of its cooldown. So bringing back a cooldown that's very similar, it gives you haste, it's going to give you more damage on your procs, makes me wonder if we're going down the same path. But I really want to see what this looks like. It's the first time that I've seen it. So we're going to add Wither to the target here. My corruptions are still on the target from running Ultimate Corruption before. I'm wondering if there might be some sort of glitch you could do with that. But we got our Haunt, we got our Oblivion, we got our dots up. We're going to pop our Malevolence. So we start glowing a little purple and we grow antlers. Oh my god, we're like a meta demon. I just realized that. We're literally straight up like an old school meta demon. Wait, that's sick, bro. What? We're literally like a meta demon during this cooldown. I just want to look like this all the time, bro. Okay. 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 So I like that. It's not going to be like all the time like it is for the other build. With the demon proccing on every Malefic Rapture, but the fact that it's a 1-minute cooldown does mean that you're going to be getting it pretty frequently, and it's going to be giving you up a juiced amount of stats. Now, I actually am liking the Shadowbolt. I really am actually liking the Shadowbolt build, where it procs a Shadowbolt. I don't know if I'm going to hardcast a Shadowbolt too much, but when it procs a Shadowbolt, it actually is kind of fun. And I was somebody who didn't really want Shadowbolt to be a thing, but I'm actually thinking that this is kind of fun. I like this. I actually like this. Okay, I'm gonna throw that out there. I actually like this. I like the way that Malevolence makes you look. That is super cool. Just transforming into this old school meta style of demon. This is very visually appealing. I enjoy this. I enjoy this. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna enjoy this. I can't wait till we get to max level and we can start really diving into some more of the end game oriented content. But the visual on Hellcaller looks really sick. The overall profile for Soul Harvester seems really good. I like the throwback to the Cunning of the Cruel. Hopefully this talent tree, the fact that these are all like high throughput options towards the bottom, Hopefully this doesn't end up just being this one's the best because it does the most damage or something like that. And that's all going to be tuning in the future. But what do you guys think of the Warlock, the Hellcaller, and the Soul Harvester? Let me know in the comments down below. I have other videos as well covering some of the specializations that I think are looking super sick for this expansion. So if you want to make sure that you're staying up to date with the changes that are happening for your class, or potentially trying to pique your interest and curiosities towards trying something new, then my channel is aiming to be the resource for you. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.